Revenant Act 3 releases tomorrow, and in this video we'll explain everything you need to know. The exotic mission, new weapons, the Slayer's Fang exotic, buffs and nerfs, secret quests, and much more. Welcome Guardians, let's take a look. Act 3 of Revenant releases tomorrow at reset. It's been a while since Act 2's conclusion and we had the dawning, you know how that went. But hopefully we can start 2025 off on the right foot with a new exotic mission and some rewards. Speaking of the mission, that's what we're going to talk about first. The new chunk of content for this Act 3 release is the new exotic mission, following sort of the same structure as Echoes did, but hopefully with some different changes to its structure when it comes to the quest side of things. We've assumed that Bungie has taken away steps from the previous two acts to make things quicker, and that might be the same case for Act 3. Players were not happy when they had to run the exotic mission from Echoes 20 times. Bungie says we'll delve into a Dracula's castle-inspired fortress, likely Fikrul's castle, perhaps in the Tangled Shore, the Reef, or the Dreaming City. Leaving off from Act 2, Fikrul still has the Echo and he's reviving enemies like Skolas. But something inside the Echo, the entity inside of it, perhaps Chelchis the Kell of Stone, doesn't like the way Fikrul is using this power, so some things are definitely going to go down. The mission itself is titled Kells Fall, which may give us some clear story hints of where this is going. Someone is going to fall. Fikrul, Mithrax, or Aramis, who might it be? There will be a new quest for an exotic reward called the Slayer's Fang shotgun.
This is Slayer's Fang. It's a pretty unique slug shotgun where it fires a single slug round that once it impacts a target or a surface like environment, the slug shatters in a bunch of secondary projectiles. And then once you get a kill, you get true sight for a short period of time, and then the shattered projectiles will weaken targets that they hit, and they get a bit smarter with their tracking.
Is it craftable?
Yes, yeah. So like kind of the past couple quests we've done with this, like Acquire 1, etc. Be a bunch of things to do in the activity, intrinsic levels to unlock, and a handful of catalysts that have some interesting interactions with how the gun works itself.
So it has that Nightsworn perk. Final blows will grant Nightsworn. During that time, further kills will grant True Sight. And it also has Heart Piercer. Rounds from this weapon shatter into submunitions on impact. As mentioned, the weapon will have 4 catalysts, and these were data mined, so if you're interested in hearing those, here's what they are. Repulsor Brace, defeating a void debuffed target grants an overshield. Stats for all, hitting 3 separate targets increases weapon handling, stability, reload, and range for a moderate duration. The third one is Cascade Point. Final blows or sustained precision hits with another weapon increase this weapon's rate of fire for a short time. And lastly, we have Loose Change. Applying an elemental debuff to a target increases this weapon's reload speed, aim assist, and movement while aiming down sights for a short duration. Act 3 will also introduce a new row of artifact perks to the current episode, Artifact. Those are not currently out at the time of making this video. Bungie may post about it today, and if they do, check the comments or description and there might be an update for you. This new act will also add some new weapons. There's 2 we know of, I'm not sure if there's going to be more. The first one is Red Tape, a lightweight stasis scout rifle, 200 RPM. Column 3 has Rhyme Stealer, Closing Time, Keep Away, Lone Wolf, Attrition Orbs, 4th times the Charm, and Demolitionists. Column 4 has Headstone, High Impact Reserves, Focused Fury, One for All, Adrenaline Junkie, Rampage, and Explosive Payload. The second weapon is Heretic's Fervor, an aggressive stasis rocket launcher at 25 RPM. In Column 3, it can get Tracking Module, Field Prep, Auto-Loading Holster, Lone Wolf, Rhyme Stealer, Quick Draw, and Slide Shot. Column 4 can get you Chill Clip, Vorpal Weapon, Frenzy, Bipod, Quick Draw, Explosive Light, and Harmony. Ida will also be getting some updates as the current vendor. The reflective flake will be unlocked as it's obtained from the exotic mission. This will be used for more enriching tonics. Ida will also likely have new tiers for the fieldworks. With the launch of Revenant Act 3, Bungie has a slew of additional armor and weapon balance updates planned for the following week, which is January 14th. The bulk of this update is aimed at addressing a couple of overperforming weapon types in Crucible, and then buffing a number of underperforming options as well. Overall, there's been buffs to heavy burst sidearms, rapid fire auto rifles, and SMGs. So increasing the strength of some of the close range primary weapons like the heavy bursts, magazine increases for some machine guns, and some increased damage rates for rapid fire auto rifles. There's also some enhancements to lightweight pulse rifles and precision hand cannons for medium range combat. So hand cannons have seen a small bump in usage and effectiveness with the recent changes to body shot damage. But Bungie wants to lean into the intrinsic fantasy a little bit harder, so this change will affect weapons like Luna's Howl, Not Forgotten, and Malfeasance. They've re-implemented changes for lightweight scouts to bring down their body shot time to kill, and sniper rifles receive a small buff to reduce flinch. There's also some changes to weapon perk updates. First, for Skulking Wolf, the Iron Banner Origin now activates in PvE. It also adds a new effect which makes enemies slightly less accurate when targeting you while the perk is active, and the perk description update planned for a future release. Next to that, Target Lock has some changes as well. They removed the nerf specific to SMGs, making the perk fully effective with increased magazine sizes. They're also monitoring its performance in the Crucible alongside other close quarter combat options. Exotic weapon and armor updates. First up for the weapons. Graviton Lance reverted rounds per minute to 300. In PvE it gets a small DPS nerf, and for PvP returns the weapon's performance to its pre-episode 2 state, balancing its dominance in lower and mid-skill lobbies while maintaining its identity. For Malfeasance, they adjusted it to match the intrinsic benefits of the Precision Hand Cannon perk, added accuracy bonuses, added reduced ADS movement speed penalty, and airborne effectiveness remains unchanged as it was already incorporated. And for the armor side of things, we only have Spirit of Alpha Lupi. Healing Impulse strength adjusted to account for Thruster's higher uptime compared to Barricade. Now that is the main bulk of the content releasing tomorrow. The final weeks of Revenant will also add that secret quest we've talked about a couple of times. The past is Prologue Quest, the Firecracker event, whatever you want to call it. This will be similar to Riven's Wishes from last year and will involve Drifter and Eris Morn giving out 8 different quests. According to data mined information, these could be the possible rewards. The game post says you could get Artifice Armor, exotic gear and currencies, adept weapons, and possibly even mementos. The final reward possibly being the Chatter White shader. For those interested in a couple of weeks, the Iron Banner will return on January 14th. So if you're still looking for roles on the Rocket Sidearm Tinasha's Mastery, you'll have a chance to do so then. January 31st will also bring back Trials for one final time before the next episode. This will be the last week the Prophet will be available as a post-match reward. So if you're looking for more adept roles, you know it needs to be done. The regular version of it will still be available for focusing at Saint though. But Guardians, there you have it, a recap of everything releasing in Revenant tomorrow and in the coming weeks leading up to the next episode, Heresy. If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and information just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you all in the next video.